Hello everyone and welcome to the Entrepreneur Journey Chats. I've been doing these for quite a few months now, and I always want to have people on here who have built businesses, who add value to our community on LinkedIn. And today I'm delighted to have a great friend of mine. Welcome, Tricia. Welcome.
Good to see you. Good to see you, Susie.
Lovely to have you on. And you know, I've had lots of lovely feedback about these. They really are some insights, some tips, some golden nuggets about people who have grown their businesses or they work high up in an organization. So please listen to the end, because I also have some giveaways, either a free copy of one of my books or a session with me or a variety of different things. So let us cut straight in to welcome our wonderful friend Tricia. So let me explain about what her background is. Tricia founded Business Breakfast Group 10 years ago, followed by Cheshire Business Events. And prior to this, Tricia had spent many years working for the Guardian Weekly, the international weekly part of Guardian Media, and then Crain's, my mistake, a breaking news business weekly based in Manchester. Tricia's events take place in various locations in Cheshire and Manchester and support local charities. And obviously currently with what we're going through, she's very successful online having super events. So please make sure you join her mailing list to get to hear about them. Proud of many businesses Tricia has brought together, resulting in business deals. She is also a founder organizer of Warrington Business Awards, a glittering event held every 2 years. And I know they've been outstanding events, Tricia. Married and with 3 grown-up children and 2 grandchildren, Tricia is not looking to slowing down yet. I can testimony to that. On top of all this, you've been a magistrate for 28 years and is chair of Cheshire Magistrates Association, plus playing golf and horse riding and enjoying watching Liverpool FC. Where do you fit it all in, Trish?
Well, I have to ask myself that sometimes.
You are an incredible powerhouse, I would say, of knowledge, of expertise, and obviously I know you give a lot back. So let's dive straight into these questions. You know, one of the ones I always ask people is, I believe there is an art to personal leadership, a winning success formula, if you like, with people who are entrepreneurial. So what would you say are 2 or 3 of your insights that have helped you on your journey?
I think it's really important to be genuinely interested in what other people do. I'm always fascinated to hear how people made their journeys into whatever they're doing, because of course I come along across such a lot of entrepreneurs, people who come to my meetings, who've set up businesses. In the very early days of setting up Business Breakfast Group, I was supported by 1 or 2 young men, as they were then. In 10 years they've grown amazing businesses, and it's just a pleasure to see that happen, and to see the fact that they made some of the connections when they came to my events first of all. So that's something I'm quite proud of. I think it's important to listen to what people want and what they're looking to get out of an event.
Very much so.
Sorry, something went off then. So what they can actually get out of an event. So that's really important. And also to make sure that if people want an opportunity to meet other people, that I can actually facilitate that. I like to connect people as well, and I think people appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to many of your events, you know, and you really are a true people connector. You pick the right businesses to have a fantastic event, but the business that's done, and I can absolutely say, you know, my early days when I built my business 16-17 years ago, I used you, and the networking part and who you connect with and is very powerful, and you really do put some great people together. I know that.
yeah and you know, now and again someone will say to me, oh well, I'm doing this with somebody and I know they met them at my event, and I think, oh, that's fantastic. I'm so pleased that they've got something out of it, because that's what makes it tick for me. Because, you know, you work for yourself, and there's only me, and it's great to have that kind of feedback. It makes it worthwhile. Some days when you're not feeling that, you know, you want to not want to carry on, but you know, is it all working? And when you get that kind of feedback, it's amazing.
Yes, it is. And I know you don't just work for, work with solopreneurs, you work with businesses. So you bring different businesses with their expertise together to be able to support solo people and bigger businesses. It's really admirable. The other thing I always think that is important is successful people definitely think in a different way. They do things in a different way. And I think the values that people live by are very important. What have been some values or virtues that supported you through you?
Yeah, I've thought about this one. I think just not letting people down is very important. And if I say I'm going to do something, to make sure that I do it. That's really important. It's a little frustrating when people say they're going to be somewhere, meet you, or come to an event and then just don't turn up. There's always reasons why people can't make something. I understand that, but all it takes is a text message or a message, and I think that's what I always do. I would never like to think that I would have let anyone down. So I think that's a really important value, especially in the world of business, because it's so busy now. And when I started 10 years ago, there weren't so many people doing so many networking events, but now it's so busy and people have got such a choice of what to do and where to go. And I appreciate that. That's fine. What works one week, they might want to go somewhere else or do something different. But I think it's really important to communicate with people. Yeah. That's value. And also, I have been very fortunate throughout the years that I've done business networking events, that I have had the backing of some really great firms. In fact, there's one firm who have backed me right from the start. And can I say who they are? Yeah, Howard Worth Accountants from based in Cheshire. They have been sponsors of my events right from the start, and still are today, and great relationship and superb company, great people there, and it's lovely to have such a good relationship. And then I've got other people who have come along afterwards, but equally super. But it's just nice to have someone so long. So yes.
Totally. And I think another of your great values is relationship building. You do it absolutely the best of the best that I see. And even though you've got your events basically mainly face-to-face in Cheshire, I know you've gone nationwide now by having the successful online platforms, and people can network then from all over, can't they? The UK, why not?
Yeah, I had someone join from Finland a few weeks ago. So people can come on from wherever and enjoy it. But I mean, it's great to have people from Finland and all different parts of the world. And actually the person there, I'm sure, will speak at one of my events because he's got a lot to offer. And I thought at first when Zoom came in, I thought, well, it doesn't really matter where you are. And it doesn't in quite a few industries, but there are others that have to be very local. Yeah. So it's a mix, really. It's a mix of people, but we can all learn from each other. It's great. And sometimes I pick the phone up. I have done during this pandemic. I picked the phone up and phone someone I know, because I just like to get their feedback, how they're feeling, how they are, what's going on, how's things going. And it's the only way to learn, isn't it?
Totally. Connecting with people. And I've connected with strangers, I've connected with people that I've known forever, and you do need to discuss things. We need to collaborate. I think it's an interesting time, but it's also a pivoting time. That clients I speak to, are actually excelling as long as they're getting resourceful, as long as they are adapting. I think that's going to be one of our new words in this era.
Yeah. I don't think it's the new normal. I think we'll move on from this. But
yes. It's a buzzword, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, definitely.
It is. Another thing that I passionately agree with, and we know this because we've been friends a long time, is having a circle of genius, a peer group, if you like. And we've known each other, as I said, many years from networking, and we co-founded a savoir-faire networking group together. And it's, it's nice that we are friends, and it's also great that we've had some fabulous connections with people that we know. What two things would you say, knowing me, that I bring to the table of people that I've worked with? that you recognise?
Yeah, you've connected so many people. That's absolutely true. You've connected so many people, but also some of the things I mean, you're fantastic at being able to talk and coach people. So I think that is a quality, you know, I would think of if people need some coaching because you're trained and you know, and you can use empathy to be able to do that. So I think that's a quality.
Yeah, thank you, Trish. That's wonderful. Yeah, it's all, you help people, I help people. We just love it. I think it's just the connection. It's the people connection, which is wonderful. But, you know, obviously you run your events. Tell us more about any more about your events that people need to know. That's important.
Yeah. First of all, it was a learning curve, because you go on and you have no idea. And I think I did the first meeting at 2 hours, but I've changed all that now. So now it's every Wednesday networking hour.
Right.
So it's an hour. There's a 15-minute add-on for anyone who wants to stay on. I can put them on one-to-ones in a breakout room if that's what they want. There's more emphasis on a very quick introduction, then into breakout rooms. They do their networking as if they're on a round table, and I give them plenty of time in there, 20 minutes, you know, minimum in there, so they can do that. And when they come back into the main virtual room, I've got a limit of 15 minutes on the guest speaker, and then we can have discussions. So I think it has to be organised like that. It has to be so that people know, and they will get an email first to know, so they will know how it's going to work out. I've also created Women's Hour Online, and that's going quite successfully. So again, it's the same kind of format. An hour's enough. We get zoomed out, don't we, with all these meetings and things we're doing. So that's what I'm doing going forward. And I've got lots of ideas. I'm going to meet the MDs, all sorts of things that I'm going to do going forward and change things. And it's quite funny really, because I'm kind of doing something else. I might be, as you know, we have an allotment, and I might be doing something, processing some of the food that's now coming in. And as I'm doing stuff like that, I kind of think, oh, I'll do that. And I have little bits of paper written down, because I forget. If you don't remember to, you have an idea, what a fab idea. And if I don't write it down there and then it goes, the main part of it, the thing that I'm going to create goes. So I'll have little bits of paper everywhere and kind of build like that. But it's ever evolving what I do.
That's a true entrepreneur. You know, you're very creative. You're great at people connect. I mean, look at your history, as I read out in your bio, from magistrates to building a business to everything. You and charities. You do a lot of give back, but I think you must keep creating, Trish. That is one of your top qualities. Keep bringing the magic.
Yeah, and I also like to involve the charities, like you say. It's particularly with the women's events, and collaboration's important as well. I got together with two other ladies, Sue France and Kirsty James, and they both run events as I do. And we did International Women's Day in March, and that was a tremendous success. The three of us working together, we brought, we couldn't get any more people in. We had 130, and we were completely booked up with a waiting list. So we booked the venue for next year with a capacity of 200. So it was just so successful. It was just brilliant to collaborate and do that. So and we've done it online, and that was great as well. So it does, you know, it does work. But I've had an idea this year for so many men who come to my events say, well, you do the women's events, but there's nothing for us, and why can't you do one? I said, well, I would, but would you come? You know, would you come along? Women's events, you know, and I know, are very different, aren't they, than the mixed ones? And so this year, I'm doing International Men's Day. So November, pretty sure it's November. I think it's November 17th. I've got it written down. And I have actually booked a venue, but if it's not going to be in person, then I'll be doing it online. And I've got a couple of really good ideas, I think, for that. So I'm going to be jotting all that down and getting that out there soon.
Fantastic. And also, just to finish on the event side, you do have amazing speakers. I think that's one of the big wins that you do. You know, you connect and collaborate with, as you say, charities, high level people who bring very interesting data, information, technology, variety. So, I really encourage everybody to get on the emailing list, which we'll give you in a second, and really, jump on it online, or if you're up in the Cheshire area, get to a face-to-face event when we're able to do that, because there are so many phenomenal connections that Tricia has. Just before we close, a lot of us read books, listen to podcasts. What is one book or a podcast influenced you either recently or way back when in part of your journey of being an entrepreneur?
Well, you did tell me you would to think of a book beforehand, so I won't pretend I've just thought it up out of my head. But the one book, there's a book here called Winning Minds, and it's by Simon Lancaster. And he was what was he? He was a speechwriter. He was a speechwriter for, I'm pretty sure it's Tony Blair, but it's a really interesting book. And I was on a Zoom call, a meeting call several weeks ago, and someone said, read this book. It's a really interesting book. And what the bit in this book that really hooked me was the fact that Simon Lancaster in 2012 was in Hyde Park when Boris Johnson went out as Mayor of London to rally everyone for the Olympics, July, the Olympics.
Yes.
And he kind of got on the stage and everyone thought, oh, no, there was kind of a frosty kind of welcome to him, because he was just another politician, if you like, getting up there to talk about it. But he came up there, and the power that he came up with, how so positive, and he just completely had everyone eating out of his hands in the end. They were all shouting for him in the end. Say a great deal, but it's in this book, and I thought, how you can win minds. Really, really interesting book. So,
impact, presence, energy. It's all a mixture, everything. That's great. I like to get it.
Not hard read.
Winning Minds, Simon Lancaster. There you go. Where can people get hold of you, Tricia? What's the best place?
The best place, I'm on LinkedIn. I've got a big load of connections on LinkedIn. All my contact details are on there, but if you want to email me, it's Tricia.CheshireBE, that's for business events, @gmail.com, and I'll pick that up most times.
Fantastic. Well, you and I could talk for ages. We really could. We'll put all the details, obviously, when we post this, which will be out in August, everybody. So hopefully you'll be watching it now in August. And do go along to my website, Susie, S-U-S-I-E, Mitchell, MITCHELL.co.uk. Please drop your email there, and you could win one of the copies of my books, or a session with me, or something else, because every week I pick somebody, and it's just something as a giveaway, give back, if you like. But thanks again, Tricia. It's been an absolute joy to listen to you, and we'll speak soon. Take care. Bye-bye.